Most people imagine medieval nuns spending peaceful days praying in beautiful stone buildings. But the reality was often far stranger, harder, and more fascinating than movies suggest. Behind convent walls. Imagine waking up in complete darkness. Not the kind of darkness we experience today when we switch off a lamp. This is a darkness so complete that your own hand disappears when held before your face. There are no streetlights outside, no glowing screens, no distant city lights illuminating the horizon, only silence. Then suddenly, a bell breaks through the night. Its deep sound echoes through cold stone hallways. You open your eyes. Your body feels tired. It always feels tired. The room is cold enough that your breath hangs in the air like a faint cloud. Around you, several other women begin to stir beneath rough wool blankets. No one complains. No one asks for 5 more minutes. The bell is spoken. And in the year 1349, inside a medieval convent somewhere in Europe, the bell controls your life. You are a nun. And outside these walls, the Black Death is spreading across the continent. Entire villages are vanishing. Families are disappearing. And nobody knows how to stop it. Yet, your day must continue. Slowly, you rise from your bed. The floor beneath your bare feet feels like ice. You dress quickly in simple clothing. Nothing luxurious. Nothing colorful. Just practical garments designed for modesty and devotion. A small candle flickers nearby. Its light dances against ancient stone walls. You join the other sisters as they move silently through narrow corridors toward the chapel. Outside, the world remains asleep. The stars still hang above the countryside. But your day has already begun. The chapel is cold. Very cold. The stone seems to hold the memory of every winter that has ever passed through these walls. The sisters kneel. Prayers begin. Voices rise softly together. For the next hour, perhaps longer, the convent fills with whispered words and sacred songs. This is one of the first forgotten truths about medieval life. Most people imagine nuns spending their days quietly praying whenever they choose. The reality is far different. Every hour is scheduled. Every activity has its place. The bell decides when you wake. The bell decides when you pray. The bell decides when you eat. The bell decides when you work. Your entire existence follows a rhythm established long before you arrived. When prayers finally end, dawn is beginning to approach. The sky outside slowly changes from black to deep blue. A new day has arrived. And with it comes work. Breakfast is simple. Very simple. There are no eggs sizzling on a stove. No fresh pastries. No coffee. No sweet cereals. Instead, you receive a piece of bread, perhaps some porridge, and maybe a little cheese if supplies allow. The meal is eaten quietly. Conversation is often limited. Some convents even require complete silence during meals, while passages from religious texts are read aloud. As you eat, your thoughts drift toward the rumors that have been arriving from neighboring villages. The plague. Everyone is talking about it. A merchant passing through spoke of entire streets standing empty. A traveler claimed he saw carts carrying the dead. Another visitor described towns where church bells rang so often that people stopped counting the funerals. No one truly understands what is happening. Some believe God is punishing humanity. Others blame poisoned air. Others search the heavens for answers. But nobody speaks of bacteria. Nobody speaks of infection. Those discoveries are centuries away. To the people of your world, The plague feels almost supernatural. After breakfast comes work. And there is always work. One of the greatest misconceptions about medieval convents is that nuns spent most of their lives in prayer. Prayer was important, very important, but daily labor filled countless hours. You walk toward the convent garden. Morning dew covers the plants. The air is crisp. Rows of herbs grow carefully inside enclosed plots. These herbs are precious. Some are used in cooking. Others are used as medicine. The convent relies on them. Nearby, another sister collects vegetables. Another tends fruit trees. Another feeds chickens. This place is more than a religious institution. It is a self-contained community, almost a tiny world of its own. Every person contributes. Every task matters. As the morning progresses, a visitor arrives. A man from a nearby village. His face is pale. His eyes reveal exhaustion. He has come seeking help. His wife is sick. Very sick. The sisters exchange worried glances. The plague has reached another home. Perhaps another family. Perhaps another village. You follow several older nuns toward a small infirmary. This is where the reality of life during the Black Death becomes impossible to ignore. The woman lies on a simple bed. Her breathing is shallow. Her face is covered with sweat. You offer water. Another sister prepares herbs. Another whispers prayers. You cannot cure her. No one can. Modern medicine does not exist. No antibiotics. No understanding of germs. Only comfort, care, and hope. Many people imagine medieval nuns living sheltered lives behind convent walls. But during the plague, many became caregivers. While fear spread across Europe, countless religious women spent their days helping the sick, often risking their own lives in the process. Hours pass. The woman remains weak. There's little more you can do. Reluctantly, you return to your duties. The bell rings again. More prayers. More work. The rhythm continues. Later that afternoon, you are assigned to the scriptorium. This room feels different from the rest of the convent. Sunlight filters through narrow windows, wooden desks stand in neat rows, ink pots sit beside sheets of parchment. Here, silence reigns. Your task is simple in theory. Copy words from one page onto another. But the work demands patience. Extreme patience. Every letter must be formed carefully. Every line must remain straight. One mistake can waste hours. As your quill scratches across parchment, you realize something remarkable. Many of the books that survive from the Middle Ages survive because of people like you. Long before printing presses existed, manuscripts were copied by hand, page by page, word by word, year after year. It is slow work, painstaking work, but it preserves knowledge. Outside, clouds begin gathering. Rain taps gently against the windows. The world beyond the convent walls feels distant. Yet news continues to arrive. Another village has suffered losses. Another family has vanished. Another church has held funerals. Death is becoming common. Too common. One of the hardest truths about medieval life is how familiar people became with mortality. Today, many people go years without attending a funeral. In the 14th century, death was a constant companion. Children understood it. Adults expected it. No family escaped it forever. And during the plague years, its presence became overwhelming. As evening approaches, attention turns toward preparing supper. The meal resembles breakfast in its simplicity. Bread, soup, vegetables, perhaps fish if circumstances allow. Nothing extravagant, nothing excessive. The sisters gather together. The atmosphere is quieter than usual. Everyone has heard the stories. Everyone has noticed the growing fear. Even within these walls, uncertainty exists. Some sisters wonder whether the plague will eventually reach the convent itself. Others wonder whether God is testing them. Others simply focus on surviving one day at a time. Night begins to fall. Candles are lit. Their warm glow softens the harshness of stone walls. For a brief moment, the convent feels peaceful, almost timeless. Then the bell rings once more. Evening prayers. The sisters gather again inside the chapel. Voices rise together. Some pray for the sick. Some pray for the dying. Some pray for family members they have not seen in years. Some pray for strength. You kneel among them. The candlelight flickers across ancient stone columns. Outside, wind moves through the darkness. Somewhere beyond these walls, countless people are afraid. Some will not survive the night. Yet within this chapel, a small community continues its rituals, its duties, its faith, its service. Eventually, prayers end. The day is nearly over. You return to the dormitory. The room is cold once again. You lie down beneath a rough blanket. Your body aches from work. Your hands are stained with ink. Your mind is filled with thoughts of the sick woman from earlier. Will she survive? Will the plague come here? Will tomorrow bring more bad news? There are no answers, only uncertainty. Slowly, your eyes close. The convent becomes quiet. The candles burn lower. Darkness returns, and somewhere in the distance, another church bell rings. For someone who has just died. Tomorrow, before sunrise, your own bell will ring again. You will wake. You will pray. You will work. You will care for the sick. You will copy books. You will help keep this small community alive. And in doing so, you will become part of a forgotten chapter of history. A chapter that reminds us that medieval nuns were far more than women who prayed. They were teachers, healers, gardeners, writers, caretakers, guardians of knowledge. And during one of humanity's darkest disasters, they quietly helped hold the world together, one day at a time.